Hello loves, this is Abigail Barella with Sparkle and Shine Guidance. Wow, Mercury has gone retrograde. It's very clear. This video has been very hard to record, partially because there are so many different transits happening with this new moon. So we're talking about the new moon. It's a super new moon. The moon will be in its strongest placement to the earth. So this is a very powerful time to set intentions, and it's really important to think about, because this new moon is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the law of attraction. It's our desires. It's what we truly like. What do you truly want outside of a political candidate, outside of the exterior, outside of things like money in a car? Like, what do you truly want? How do you really want to feel? What do you really want to create in your life? And this is such a powerful new moon to be clear on that, especially looking at where 23 degrees of Libra is in your chart and creating from there. This is the time to do it. So we have a T-square lit up with this new moon, which whenever we have squares, especially at a new moon time, it's going to be, it's like conflict, but it's growth through conflict. And if you believe in the idea of malefic planets, which I really don't. I stay away from like kind of duality of good planets, bad planets. I don't believe in that, but I truly do believe that if that's something that you subscribe to, that this new moon is a really great balance of both, and with that comes the opportunity for us to flourish into our best selves, our best version of who we want to be. Libra is Libra is the sign of the law and order and justice. And at this time, because it's squaring all the Capricorn, Pluto, that stellium of Pluto, Pluto, Saturn, and Jupiter, and it's opposing Mars in Aries, which is about who we are, who we want to be, and it does rule the head. So it's also like how we think and our initial thoughts, our initial drive. And so in Capricorn, that stellium up there really has to do with the system, the bigger system, the government, rules and regulations. And with Pluto and Saturn both there, it's really unearthing. Pluto unearths power structures and things that aren't working to help us to see what we truly need to work on there. Saturn is at its end journey. It just went direct, and it's at its end journey in Capricorn. So it's kind of in its grand finale. It's kind of in its testing, like to see if you really can graduate phase. And therefore, it really has the potential to kind of push you into your next phase if you're doing the work. And so whatever that means for you is going to depend on where Capricorn is in your chart. So you want to look to that. This is a great time to work together. So if you're feeling the call to do some deeper healing work or to look at your chart, this is a great time to do so. Also, Bitches Shine Brighter starts Friday. So if that's something that you're called to do, we're going to dive in deep, get to the heart of it. And it's such a great time. I love this time of year doing group work because it's such a powerful time, and it's so fun to see everyone's transformation within the group. The last thing that I'm offering as well is new moon tarot readings. So if that's something you're interested in, just getting a quicker recorded reading that also really helps, you can reach out for those as well. It's the links in my profile. So the T-square is a challenge. At the new moon, it means we're being challenged, and it's cardinal energy. Aries, Libra, and Capricorn are all the cardinal signs, and that is initiation, that's starting something new. So if ever there was a time to really start something new in your thought process or your healing journey, this is the time. Mercury is at the beginning of his retrograde, so it's not necessarily a great time to take a lot of actions forward, but in terms of healing work or in terms of growth work that you want to see on the internal, it's a great time for that. Lastly, I will just say to lean in if you're having a challenging time or you're dealing with some intensity, to lean into wherever Cancer is in your chart, because that's where in astrology we say like the invisible leg of the T-square would be in between 18 to 27 degrees of Cancer. And so that's where you want to lean into. If you have planets or placements there, you might find that you're you know, helping people or being called to use your voice or to speak more at this time, because you tend to have, if you have placements there, more of the nurturing capabilities. And so you might find those areas of your life being called upon at this time. So if you have any questions about this new moon, please reach out. Lastly, I just want to say that Pluto and Saturn will not be together in Capricorn for a really long time. This is the last of it. We are literally at the most challenging part of this whole process as we get to the critical degrees. When Saturn reaches the critical degrees of Capricorn, like I said, it's the really big test, and we're there. And so in December, we're going to reach that graduation point. At least Saturn and Jupiter will be out of Capricorn, but we're not there yet, and we're not meant to be there yet. So really stay with this process. There's a lot to be learned still from these end degrees of Capricorn and looking at where they are in your chart. So really trust and be with this process. If it's challenging, if you're noticing, you know, depression or, you know, more intense things happening, that's a sign to you to work with this energy, work with a therapist, work with someone who can help you, because it will lighten up in December, but it will lighten up so much more if you're actually doing the work with it instead of resisting. So that all being said, the last thing I want to say is, you know, Mercury going retrograde and then Venus in Mercury ruled Virgo, it can have our minds really busy. And so this is the time to really be aware of our bodies and taking good care of our bodies, and also not moving too fast through the world, especially towards the end of this week. Being really cautious when you're driving, being really cautious when you're out, you know, exercising, all those things, because of the strong influence of Mercury and the T-squares that are created through Mars. You just want to be aware of that. I always say that with Mars squaring any new moon or full moon. And that's it. So I hope you guys have a great day. Reach out with any questions you have.